Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Bungo Stray Dogs Dead Apple. It is, adapted by Bones and based on the light novel and manga. I've been reviewing the anime up until now. I'm going to be getting to review more of the anime after this. You got, 3 more seasons so far incoming. So, Dead Apple is... it was good. I liked it, but it's maybe the weakest. I don't know. This or season 3, I think, is maybe the weakest so far, to be honest. But despite all of my sort of criticisms I'm going to have, I still really did enjoy it just because I like Bungo Stray Dogs. So just getting more of it is fun. I'm just cool, getting more of it, chilling with it. That's the kind of person I am. I did think it was a good, fun bonus story. Now this has important things to Atsushi's past, so it's not one of those cases where the movie's just non-canon. It's got some important things in it, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that though it was good, though it was fun, like I said, when it comes to the first 2 seasons, when it comes to the main series, I just don't think it's as strong as they were, because they were really strong to me, and this just wasn't so much. The fights were a bit hit and miss, I think, personally, but I really liked the character stuff they had going on, especially with Izumi. I feel like Izumi Kyoka, they usually call her Kyoka, I feel like Kyoka really got to shine here. In the first 2 seasons, she was around, she got her moments, but she never really won me over. But here in the movie, I think is really where her character came alive, so to speak. I really enjoyed her here and kind of first felt like, okay, now I'm really liking this character. I think that she was done really well for the movie. One thing I will say, this... might be a self-report. Am I self-reporting as stupid? As I was watching, I didn't think the villain was very good, to be honest. And there were times throughout the movie, might be self-reporting as stupid here, where I was like, okay, I almost feel like I'm a little bit lost. I feel like this plot is a little bit hard to follow with the villain stuff going on and what Dostoevsky and Desai were actually doing and all of these different connections. I was like, either this is really convoluted in a way that they could have written this much more effectively, or I am just really dumb. And I love watching anime reactions. So of course, after watching this movie, I've watched probably 2 or 3 reactions to it, and I'm so glad, because people reacting to it too, there were people like, okay, I'm kind of having trouble following this, or what is even going on? And I was like, okay, I might still be dumb, but thankfully I'm not the only one. I was like, okay, it's good that other people are struggling with it too. And here's the thing, I'm not really maybe I should be more critical toward the movie because of that, but I'm not going to be, just because if it was something where I was like, oh, they did this wrong and they could have done this better, or this would have been better this way, or whatever. If I could point any of that out and say that this is how it should be done, and this is a specific thing that I think is what was kind of screwy, not just vague, hard to follow stuff, I'm not going to hold against the movie what could be a skill issue on my part. So I'm not going to hold that against the movie, but again, potentially I should, because again, I'm not trying to hype myself up oh, I'm super smart or anything, but I'm not the dumbest person on the planet, and I definitely don't have the worst attention span or anything, but I still did at times feel like this is a little bit tough to follow for me. But yeah, despite all the criticisms, I did enjoy it. Production quality wise, honestly, for it to be a movie, surprisingly, I personally think that the direction and the animation looked better in season 1 and 2. The animation was kind of hit and miss. To be honest, the music was really good, but I'll be real, I feel like the animation for this wasn't that good. It was kind of hit and miss, which again, for a movie is kind of different. Usually they, blow all the budget on movies that a lot of times aren't even canon when it comes to anime and stuff. So, those were my thoughts on the movie, I guess. As far as character waifu relationship goes, something I always go with. Character here, I still love Chuya. I think that Akutagawa was good here, but my favorite character I think in this I'm going to say was Kyoka. I did like Akutagawa though, but Kyoka here really stood out for me. It was the first time I felt like her character like really stood out, and she kind of like carried a lot of the stuff with Atsushi for me personally. As far as waifu goes, I put in my notes for my bullet points and stuff, I put Akiko, and I'm like, damn, past me was really just writing things, huh? Not that I don't like Akiko, I think she's great, she was just barely in the movie. I think it's because I already said Naomi and Lucy. I was gonna say I could say Higachi. She's one of Higachi Ichio is one of my favorite characters. She was kind of barely in the movie too, though. Gin, I don't know if Gin was in the movie. I'm assuming we at least saw cameos of all the important characters, but I don't really remember Gin either. Akiko was barely in it. But I guess in terms of waifu, I would go with Akiko over Kyoka. So Akiko, default winner, she gets it, I guess. And then as far as relationship goes, I'm going Atsushi and Kyoka because, again, I think that the stuff with the two of them together kind of carried a lot of the movie. Akutagawa was good too. Akutagawa and Kyoka, I think that's a fun relationship. And Akutagawa and Atsushi too is good. But for me, Kyoka and Atsushi, I think, is the best for the movie. So yeah, a little bit of a shorter review. It is just a movie review. But yeah, a little all over the place as well. But thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of the movie or my thoughts on it and all of that. My brief, chaotic thoughts. Subscribe for more anime, much more on the channel, including Bungou Stray Dogs. Follow on Twitter if you want a link to the Discord. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you would like to help support the channel by sharing or dropping a super thanks, that's super appreciated. And if you'd like to help support the channel by, joining down below and becoming a member or becoming a patron at patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description. Members and patrons get One Piece videos a bit early and get names at the end of videos, on top of just helping me to keep making videos. Thank you to patrons and members. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, Evernono, J.A. and the D-Van, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pate Ariel, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.